Welcome, everyone, to Tasker Arena. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball live on the radio, Cool 95.7 on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Time for Ron Gunner with you here at Tasker Arena. And Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Big game tonight for the Hobbs Eagles as they take on Carlsbad. The third time they played this season. This one is a big one, Ron. First round of the state tournament. If Hobbs loses this game tonight, a very good chance they do not make the state tournament.
Exactly, but you can say that for both sides. I mean, Carlsbad looks like they're pretty much, even if they did win, they have little chance to get into the playoffs. But Hobbs definitely needs this victory to get into the playoffs. Without it, like you said, their chances are slim to none, and I think Slim just walked out the door.
And, of course, the Eagles under 500 this season at 11-15, although they did get that victory against Carlsbad last Friday night, which is a very critical one for the Eagles. And not a one-point game like the previous contest in Carlsbad. Right. That was 40-39. But Hobbs getting a little bit more of a point spread in that second game, 57-48, winning by 9. Got some good point production, too, from several guys out there. Abraham Pena finished with 17 points, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds. Did not have a tray in that game, which is kind of unusual for him, but still was the top scorer in the contest. Also dumping in double digits, Jairus Turbiantes finished with 14 points, 8 rebounds, and ironically, he did get a tray in that ball game. Pena and Turbiantes combining for 31 points in that contest.
Yeah, and Hobbs overall did a whole lot better job in the second game than they did in the first one when they went down to Carlsbad. That's why one of the reasons why we're happy to be in Tasker Arena, because Hobbs seems to be clicking so far this year, 3-0 in the district tournament, or no, district play, I should say. And they played very well against Carlsbad just the other day. Had a nice little lead, 33-26 was the halftime lead. Did really well in the third quarter. We were talking about the fact that Hobbs has been struggling in the third quarter, but scored 20 points and got 24 overall in the half. 4 points in the fourth quarter, not ideal. However, they were able to hold down Carlsbad from scoring. Turnovers weren't a big deal either, after all, even though Carlsbad had 11, but they got most of those in the first half. Second half, not as much. Hobbs also limited their turnovers, and that helped win the cause for them as well. So we're hoping to see a whole lot less turnovers for Hobbs, be able to get more shots on the free throw line, and that will help, especially since they went up 18 times just the other day. Unfortunately, though, they only made 9 of those 18, so it's 50%. Hobbs needs to improve that as well to make sure that they can get this victory in the bag.
Well, you mentioned turnovers, only 7 for the Eagles. They've been averaging about 17 a contest throughout the season, so definitely getting cleaned up in that category, and that shows you getting a win by 9 is because you keep control of the basketball, which is very important. Eagles only had 4 trays in that ball game. We mentioned Payne did not get any. Beatty in the contest as well did not score a tray. Josiah Clay had 1. Vega had a couple of three-pointers in the contest, 1 for Jairus Turbiantes, and that's pretty much it. 4 trays, 6, though, for Carlsbad. Hobbs has got to be careful. Samuel Gee was stroking it a couple of times. He had a couple of trays. Kyron Orgain also hit a tray for Carlsbad in that game, and so did Shane Sullivan. So 6 total trays in the contest. They did have 4 more turnovers in the Eagles, 11 versus 7. Rebounds pretty close. Hobbs winning that battle 24-21, mostly thanks to Turbiantes with his 8 boards and Parker Henderson adding 5. So. Right. Pretty close ball game, although the Hobbs Eagles struggled there in the fourth, as you mentioned, only getting those 4 points, but had enough of a cushion there to get the victory. If you look at the 2 teams compared to each other with the 2 games this season in the district schedule, so far in terms of the Hobbs Eagles, their leading scorer, it's really been dumping them down pretty well for Hobbs. Vega with 8 points a game. He's actually second on the team. He is 1 of 2 on the line, had 3 rebounds and 5 trays against Carlsbad. He's their top 3-point shooter for Hobbs right now. The leading scorer, though, is Abraham Pena. He is averaging 12 points a contest against Carlsbad. He had 7 in Game 1 and dumped in that 17 on Friday night. Has 8 rebounds, so 4 a game. And only 1 3-pointer in the 2 games so far, which is unusual for him, but hopefully he can start getting the stroke coming down here in this contest. Averaging 7 points a game. Beatty getting some time in that last contest on Friday night. Had 9 points, at 5 in Game 1, so he is helping out the cause. Has had 4 rebounds and 1 tray so far in the series. Jairus Turbiantes, he is averaging 9.5 a contest against Carlsbad. 13 rebounds, 6.5 a game. 1 tray, as we mentioned on Friday, and 2 of 3 on the line for 66%. Definitely can use him in terms of boards and scoring production. in this last game between the two teams. And also Parker Henderson is averaging 3.5 points a game. Those have got to come up big time. He's had 4 in the first game, 3 in the second, but definitely need to have some more production from him offensively. But rebounds, he's had 11, which is 5.5 a game against Carlsbad.
Yeah, one of the things that Parker Henderson needs to do is just make sure he doesn't get in any foul trouble. The first game, that's exactly what happened. He had about 4 fouls. Actually, I think he fouled out in that game. Second game, not as much. He didn't get in foul problems. Was able to get a couple of shots, but didn't make everything that he tried. However, he was still looked like he was working on a shot. It looked like it was a good shot. And for him, he had a mid-range jumper that looked like it would be a good one for him to do, and just wasn't able to get under that in the second half. Never really saw a opportunity to do that, but looked like he was otherwise playing well when he was on the court and wasn't fouling nearly as much as he had in the first game.
Carlsbad has a couple of guys hovering near double digits against the Eagles in 2 games, including Carmen Orgain. He's averaging 9.5 points a contest, 6 of 7 from the charity stripe, only missed 1 free throw, and has an average of 6 rebounds a contest, a total of 12, and has hit 1 tray. Another guy that stepped up in Friday's game, Samuel Gee, he's averaging 9.5 points a game as well, 3 for 6 on the line for 50%, 10 rebounds, so 5 a contest, and has 4 trays in the 2 games so far. So those 2 guys getting close to 10 points apiece per game. Also, Chavarria started the 2-game series with 10 points in game 1, had 7 in game 2 on Friday night. He's averaging 8.5 against the Eagles, 4 of 6 on the line for 66%. Only 1 rebound for Chavarria, though, and 1 tray. So his numbers kind of dropped off in that second game. Sullivan's averaging 6 points a contest, as he has had 8 in the second game, 4 in the first game. 14 rebounds, though. Sullivan's a guy Hobbs has got to get a butt on pretty quickly. He's got 7 rebounds a contest and a couple of trays to his name. Their big post player, though, is Garen Gossett. I believe he's 6'8", 3 inches shorter than Parker Henderson. But he is averaging 6 points a contest with 8 points in the first game, 4 in the second, 8 rebounds total, 4 per game, and 2 trays. So those are a couple of guys the Eagles have to be watching closely. If you look at the team numbers so far with the 2 games in this season, Hobbs is actually out-rebounding Carlsbad 51-50, so 1 better, not much of a difference there.
Right.
Free throws, though, in the advantage of Carlsbad, as they are shooting 20 of 28 for 71%. The Hobbs Eagles 13 of 23 for 56%. So Hobbs has shot 5 less free throws, but are 15% less in terms of producing on the free throw line than what Carlsbad is. That definitely's got to improve here on their home court in this game tonight. Turnover situation pretty close. Hobbs with 1 less. They've had 20 against Carlsbad. Carlsbad with 21. And one other stat, the points in the game so far, Hobbs with 96, 88 for Carlsbad, so 8 more points in the 2 games.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Ross earlier when I got here, and one of the things I said is this: I would like to see about a 65, 75 point advantage for Hobbs in the third quarter. Something that we've seen in the past. I want to see them come out here, play a lot of great aggressive offense, as well as some great trapping, some defense, being able to make some points, produce those nice little fast break points and be able to get into this game. I think if they do that, they can just run past this Carlsbad team. They don't show a whole lot of, they're not as defensive as they used to be, but still, they're not as offensive as they have ever been. They don't try to make points happen. They just try to get what they can.
If you look at the numbers for the Hobbs Eagles, currently in terms of point production, they are 3rd in the district with 58 points. Clovis at 61.5, Roswood 60 a game, Hobbs at 3rd at 58, and then Carlsbad a big drop-off down to 45. And that's been kind of the inconsistency with the Carlsbad team. Coach Zumbrin has some guys that like to play some D. They don't put a lot of points on the board. They like to slow it down a little bit, so they're going to definitely have to pick up the pace. And that's what the Hobbs Eagles did to them on Friday night to get the win. Defensively, Hobbs is giving up 59 points in the district per game. That is the worst in the district, so definitely, like you said, got to get the get that wrench kind of screwing a little bit tighter there and make sure the Hobbs doesn't let this stuff get past the half court as much as possible. So they're giving up 59 a game. Carlsbad only giving up 55, which is tied for first with Roswell. So a lot of these teams haven't been putting a lot of points on the board across all 4 squads this year. It's not been a strong year, I think, in this district.
Yeah, you never can tell if it's defensive problems, offensive problems, or both. Last night we watched the fact that Clovis came into Hobbs, and they played Roswell in that district basically it was a I'm having a brain fart. Sorry about that. But
Pre-playoff game.
The playoff game, as well as the determiner of who was going to be the district champion. So you saw 22-20 at the half. Roswell was down by 2. Clovis was basically, they would put the lead up, then Roswell would chip back in. Next thing you know, it was a very low-scoring game. So this has been actually something that the district has been shown this year, as far as nobody's really wanting to put up a whole lot of points. They just want to put up enough to be able to win. But as a lot of coaches say, all it takes is one extra point to be able to win a game, just like Carlsbad did the first game against Hobbs.
Abraham Pena still leads the team in scoring this season at 17.2 a game. He's the leader in assists as well at 2.9 and steals at 1.5, 1.5. So he definitely helps out in many different categories. Braylon Vega with 10.9 points a game, just shy of 11. He's definitely a guy that you want from the outside shooting for you. Those are the two averaging double digits for the season so far. Jairus Turbiatas, after his double digits on Friday night against Carlsbad, getting up close to 8 points a contest. And he currently leads the team in rebounding at 6.8 a ball game. Is also second in steals behind Pena at 1.5. So definitely a guy that's very versatile on both ends of the court. Excuse me, and Jairus Turbiatas. You can tell the flu season going around in this place. Parker Henderson averaging 5.2 points a game, and he is second in rebounding at 6.6, and definitely needs to continue to crash as much as possible. He does have a couple inches of size over Gossett, who's 6'8", but you got to finish in the paint. You got to go up high on the glass. You got to go over the rim and put that thing through the cylinder, not have 3 or 4 touches on it, but get it through the cylinder. It's very important in this game. The Hobbs Eagles, of course, don't have Malachi David. He is out with a knee injury, will not play the rest of the season. So now having that third look underneath, Jairus Turbiatas, Henderson, and then it would be nice to have David underneath there, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. So, Again, Henderson's got to put that ball through the cylinder and continue to bang up pretty tough. Hobbs shooting in terms of the field, 43% this season. They are 65% from the free throw line and shooting 30% from three-point range. They've got their turnovers down just a little bit now to 16.5. It's been around 17 and 18 for much of the season, but with only 7 against Carlsbad, definitely some improvement in that category. Now, we were talking about the quarter numbers so far this season. It's been very close in the first quarter for most of the teams the Eagles have played. In fact, they've been outscored 97 to 96 in those 6 games in district so far, so only 1 point given up there. Their biggest quarter is the second quarter. They've outscored their district opponents 92 to 59, a 33-point advantage. And that's where Hobbs kind of gets themselves coasting in possibly a halftime lead and then doing some good things there. But second half has not been a good situation. Third quarter, they've been outscored 104 to 95. Not a lot by 9 different there in points. But the fourth quarter is where the improvement needs to come. They've been outscored by 23, 94 to 71 in the fourth. They got to put the seal on the deal, Ron. And in this game, if they lose the contest, there might not be a state tournament coming up. So I think it's very important that they don't just coast into that fourth quarter. Even if they have a lead, they got to maintain it, just like they did Friday. They took care of business. That 4 points wasn't great, but they did have a cushion in the third.
Yeah, if they want to continue playing and you want to make the coaches proud of them, they want to go ahead and win this game. And, of course, then you look into the next game, which will be Roswell on Friday. But right now, you've got to concentrate on Carlsbad because they're going to be concentrating on you. They have a bad record, yes, but they still have a big enough record to be able to come in here, make a difference, and disrupt your season as well as, anything else they can do.
There are 2 scores on Friday. Kyron Orgain, he had 11 points, 4 for 4 in the free throw line just in the first quarter alone. We've got to make sure we don't put him on the line if we can help it. He also drilled down a 3. Samuel Gee, we mentioned, he had a couple of trades in that contest, had 11 points. So Orgain and Gee combining for 22 of their total production in that contest. Shane Sullivan finished up with 8, but not a lot of help other than that in that ball game. Actually, Chavarria did finish with 7. Carlsbad shot 12 of 14 from the charity stripe for 85%. Much better than the Eagles, though, who only shot 52% from the line. Again, we still have her at 65 as a team this season, but, hey, when these close games come to the wire, especially when a team might be going to the tournament or not because of it, you got to continue to put it through the hole. And I know I was watching the early today, Coach had the team out here working on free throws, and a kid missed it right after he got him on the line. He had both ends of the court, Coach Ross, and somebody missed a free throw, and he said, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Even one miss could be the end of our season.
Yeah, and the thing is this, at the beginning of the district, we were talking about the fact that Hobbs was not getting enough trips to the line, and then when they were making a little bit of a difference as far as being able to make those. But in the last game, Carlsbad outperformed on the line. Hobbs was having troubles not able to get anything. Half their shots were missing, so that was half the shots were missing on the floor. They could have been it would have been a lot better point production if they hadn't missed those.
Yeah, talking about free throws in the district, Hobbs is 48 of 77 for 62%. Their opponents, Roswell, Clovis, and Carlsbad, 79 of 125. So Hobbs getting a lot less free throw opportunities. In fact, 48 less free throws shot in the district schedule so far this season. Their opponents shooting 63%, Hobbs 62%. So not a big difference in makes in terms of percentage-wise, but the attempt situation, the penetration, not getting the fouls that you want to see, a chance to shoot for the freebies on the line. That's what you want to try to add on to your score without any defense on you. Turnovers have been an issue too. Hobbs with 90 this season in the district, 67 for their opponents. That did get cleaned up on Friday night, but still that's 23 more turnovers, which could end up being transition points for their opponents. So those two areas need to see some improvement. We better get a quick break here. We've been babbling on, especially me here for the past few minutes. But Hobbs and Carlsbad, first game of the district tournament coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll take that break, come back in 90 seconds. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Tascarina, the Hobbs Eagle pregame show, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. The Hobbs Eagles taking on Carlsbad, first round of the district tournament. Winner will play on Thursday in Roswell. Roswell knocking off, Clovis knocking off Roswell last night in the pre-playoff game, 55-44. So Clovis is the regular season champ. And then they will play Saturday for the championship. Roswell, the semifinal. Again, that will be on the road for either one of these two teams that win tonight. So that'll be a tough road trip situation for the Eagles. They have two on the road. Coach, talking to Coach Reeves earlier today, he said he wished he could rather play Clovis first and then kind of gear up for Roswell on Saturday because they're more of a pesky defensive type team. Run all over the court, they kind of go up and down with you, get kind of rough and physical, and kind of a game that you want to prepare for. Where Clovis, it's an athletic game, but not the same situation. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They need to get through this game first. Let me quickly get you the starting lineup. We mentioned some of these guys earlier in terms of their points. Kyron Orgain, he is averaging 9.5 a contest. Jacob Chavarria at 8.5 a game against the Eagles. Samuel Gee, he is averaging 9.5 points a game. Brandon Sullivan has stepped up so far for 6 points a contest. And Garen Gossett, their 6'5" post player, his numbers so far against the Eagles averaging 6 a game. Those are your 5 starters for the K-Men, who come in at 500, 13-13. Right now, sitting at 21st in the Max Preps poll. I think their only hope, Ron, is to win the district tournament to get themselves a slot at the state tournament.
If at lucky, they'd have to have a lot of help to do that. But you're right. If they win the district tournament, they may have a chance to get in to face like a Volcano Vista.
Yeah, and that's what Hobbs has the potential of looking at, too, depending on what seed they would get in as. Your Hobbs Eagles starters tonight, Braylon Vega. He's averaging 8 points against the K-Men this season. Abraham Pena averaging 12 points a game. Of course, definitely can shoot the tray, although Vega's the one that's had more trays than Pena now. 5 for Vega against the K-Men, just 1 for Abraham Pena. Lyric Soria, the sophomore guard for the Eagles, he'll be starting in this contest as well. So far in this series, he's had 1 rebound, has yet to score in that point guard position. Jairus Turbiatis, definitely a rebounder, a scorer. He's averaging 9.5 points a game and 6.5 rebounds. And Parker Henderson, the big 6'11" post player who storms above everybody in terms of size, he's averaging 3.5 points a game and 5.5 rebounds a contest as well for your Hobbs Eagles. So there's your starting lineups. Hobbs has added a couple players to their roster. Danny Ray Criswell, one of the JV players, and Dominic Pena. Pena, of course, a name you know with Abraham Pena, but those 2 guys kind of finish up the roster. Unfortunately, with the loss of a great player like Malachi David, hate to see him be injured right before this district tournament, but he definitely will be on the team in terms of the bench and helping out the cause in terms of motivation.
I think Criswell is going to come in. He's got a lot of speed. He's got some nice skills as far as being able to shoot. Not sure about his defense so much, but still, I think he's going to be a key factor, as well as a couple other Josiah Clay, along with Nick Pena. I think they're going to be able to help get this team into gear and be able to win this game right from the start. And you know what? I think we can also say that there are a few. We may even see Jaime Cano in here as well. He had his senior moment just the other day. He is still the only senior on the team, and I think he's going to be able to prove that he is on the team for a reason. There's a lot of people that have been complaining about him being not on the team, or at least not playing anyway, so we're hoping to see him probably in the second half of the game, but still, it's going to be a good one either way. I think Hobbs is going to come out and play strong. Oh, yeah.
We're ready for the tip here at Task Arena. Dealing with a little technical issue here, trying to get our scoreboard set up for you. As Parker Henderson going to take the tap into the backcourt to Jairus Turbiatis and gives it off to Abraham Pena for the first possession of the ball game. Eagles in the front court over to Vega on the left wing, hands it off to Soria, slings it back to Abraham Pena at the timeline over to right corner to Vega. Returns to Pena right wing. To Turbiatis at the right elbow. Fadeaway Jay out the front of the rim, no good. And the rebound for Carlsbad as Samuel Gee comes up with it. Slows it down on the dribble as he comes across the timeline up the middle. Unloads to the left wing to Gee. Gee will kick it up top. To Sullivan. Sullivan on top of the arc to Orgain. He'll back it out as Pena steps out on the D. Over to right wing to Chavarria. Back deep to Gossett. Gossett will dribble left, very slow with it. Underhands it to Orgain on the near left sideline. Little crossover and stops. They look like out of coordination here on the offense. His players just kind of running into each other. Gee will get the handout, then dribbles up top, gets a screen from Gossett, gives it back to Gossett, top of the arc. Sends it down to the right corner. A 3 on the way, off the back of the rim, no good. That was Shane Sullivan with the tray shot and pulled down by Jairus Turbiatis for his first rebound. Into the front court to Vega, right corner, posting up big man Henderson on the right blocks. Turning right, then picking it back over to Vega on the right wing. Back deep to Abraham Pena at the timeline. Soria will come get it on the left wing in front of the scores table. Cross court right to Pena. Dribbles with his left hand at the top of the arc, over to left wing to Vega. Down low to Turbiatis on the left baseline, backing into his defender, Gossett. Slings it back deep to Pena at the time stripe, to Pena right wing. to big man Henderson, throwing up a J for the free throw line and puts it right through the net. That's the way to get things started. We saw him shoot more of those on Friday night too, Ron.
Exactly, and I was hoping he would do that. He started off with a great shot.
Carlsbad gets into the front court, down 2-0. Here on the left wing is Gee. Drives to the lane, pivots, middle of the paint, bounce pass back door, going up high as Orgain off the right side and puts it over the rim for 2. His first bucket of the contest. We are tied at 2-2. 6:02 left first quarter here in the district tournament opening round game at Tasker. And a big slide on the floor. A butt hits the deck for Carlsbad underneath the hoop, and a foul against the Eagles. Taking a shot, Garen Gossett on the hardwood. As a foul going to be against Parker Henderson. Got some foul trouble on Friday night and definitely doesn't want to see that multiply in this game.
Exactly. Just try to keep it clean as possible.
Inbound deep left corner of the backcourt to Gee. Throws it to the timeline. Caught by Orgain. He'll bring it across on a 3-on-1. Goes to the rack. Wraparound pass to the left corner. Throws it too hard right to the Hobbs Eagles student section. Over the head of Samuel Gee for the first Carlsbad turnover.
Yeah, that pass had a whole lot of mustard on it apparently because it just went right through his hands and out of bounds.
So Hobbs and Carlsbad still tied at 2 apiece. Pena to bring it across the timeline. Both teams with the turnover. Comes back to the top of the arc off the dribble. Finds Soria on the right wing. Returns to Pena at the time stripe. To Vega on the left wing. Back to Pena at the timeline. Gets a screen from Vega. Throws up a 3 top of the arc off the back of the rim. Rebound for the Eagles by Soria at the free throw line. Over to Vega, right corner, high-arching three-point shot and drills it through the hole. Big hit for Braylon Vega, the first tray of the game for the Eagles. They lead 5-2. Here with 5:16 left their first quarter. Ball comes across the timeline. In the hands of Orgain, fadeaway Jay from the right three-point zone. Misses off the back of the rim. Another rebound for Soria, his second. The freshman doing some damage. Over to Pena on the right wing. He'll hold the ball for a second. Returns to Soria in the right corner. A few dribbles with his left hand. Cross court left. A dangerous throw to Vega. Almost got it taken away by Orgain. Able to push it to Turbiantes in the left corner. Hand off to Pena on the far left sideline. Trying to get some rotation on the offense. Dribbling through his legs as he backs out near the scores table left side. Crossover move to the free throw line. Puts on the brakes. Turns and fires a shot. Middle of the paint. Puts it through the hole. Big shot there for Abraham Pena. That's his first bucket. 3 scores for the Eagles, who lead 7-2, their biggest lead of the ball game. Half-court pass to Orgain, who bring it across the timeline. Far right, trailing by 5 to the Eagles. Throws it up top to Gossett. Handoff on the left wing to Gee. Coming to get it on the left side is Galindo, actually Chavarria. We got a whistle in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section. Ball got tipped out of bounds on the pass, and it will be blue and white basketball. Hobbs wearing the white uniforms, black numbers, and gold trim, the home team. Him out of the backcourt for the Caveman to Chavarria as he takes on Soria. Into the front court, dribbling behind his back near the Hobbs Eagle logo. Uses up his dribble, sends the ball high, went over to Orgain on the right wing. One-hand pass up top to Gossett. Gives it back to Orgain behind him, drives the left of the lane, hippity-hop. Lost the ball off his arm, out of bounds. Looked like it might have touched Henderson last, or maybe Turbiantes. Double team that time, but it will be Carlsbad basketball on the left baseline. Orgain gets it quickly into the left wing to Chavarria. Backs into Soria, throws it up top to Orgain. NBA 3 wide open off the front of the rim, though, no good. Rebound on the free throw line, pulled down by Sullivan, his first board. Back deep to the time stripe to Chavarria on the left. Gets a screen to Gossett, gives it back to Gossett at the left elbow. Sends it down to the right corner, 3 on the way for Gee. Off the right side of the rim, no good. Put back up by Gossett, gets rejected by Henderson, then pulls down the rebound, his first board. Outlet to the time stripe. Pena driving hard to the rack, right side, reverse, and scores it off the glass with a nice push on the fingertips and knocked to the floor for the foul.
And that was a nice quick one, too. You didn't expect him to get on his horse and be able to drive that lane and be able to make that plus get that foul simply because Carlsbad was caught off guard and had to get back in position, just couldn't get it done.
7-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Hobbs Eagles as Pena will step up to the charity stripe. He is shooting 69% this season and nails his free throw. He's got 5 to lead the Eagles, 10-2. Biggest lead is 8. Of course, the Eagles beat Carlsbad by 9 on Friday night. Bad pass to half court, gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Hobbs basketball at the time stripe. That'll be the second Carlsbad turnover.
It looks like Carlsbad's already feeling the pressure against this Hobbs defense.
Soria will get the inbound to Pena at the timeline. He'll bring it across to the right wing, unloads to Soria, right corner. Returns to Pena. On the near side, screen from Turbiantes, double team up top. He'll back it out to the time stripe. To Turbiantes, top of the circle. Pivoting, looking for help. Nobody coming to get it. Finally, Soria gets the handoff on the near right sideline. Stop and go. Back to Turbiantes, right corner. Dribbles up top, finds Pena. Well outside the arc, though, with 2:58 left in the first. Eagles by 8. Uses up his dribble left. Still outside the circle. Fires over to Vega left wing. Looks like a 2-2-1 zone. Three-pointer on the way and a fadeaway to the sideline. He puts it through, and we got a technical foul. Looked like Vega ran into the referee. I'm not sure what happened there, but the tray is good for Vega. Looked like he just collided into the ref, and then a tech was called. Maybe he was saying something to the opposing team, or was that a timeout maybe? Looked like he called a tech. Coach Ross is down on the court. He's trying to find out if that was a tech or a timeout signal there by the official. Hobbs up 13-2. Couple of trays for Braylon Vega right now. And now a discussion with Coach Ross.
Well, you would think it would be a timeout Carlsbad simply because they want to stop the bleeding because...
Oh, that's what it is. The official is showing that Vega got in the face of his defender that time, Orgain, and pointed at him. You can see the hand signals there by the official. Yeah, look, when you see a tech, I wasn't quite sure if that was a tech or a timeout call there, but usually you don't use that as a timeout call as a referee. But regardless, timeout on the court, 13-2 Eagles, their biggest lead 11, 2:46 left in the first. We'll be back in half a minute.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena as Hobbs has a big lead so far, 13-2. We have 2:46 in the first quarter, and with the call, here he is, Ty Friend.
Braylon Vega hitting 2 trays here in the first so far. A tech after he made his second, taunting his defender. It looks like Shane Sullivan, the man, is going to shoot the free throws with a tech. First one's rolling around the rim and off the front, no good. Carlsbad 0 for 1 on the line. They've only had 1 score so far, Kyron Orgain. He's had a bucket. Braylon Vega 2 trays for 6, 5 for Pena, and 2 for Henderson. Second shot is up and a swish for Sullivan. He went 1 of 2 now, 13-3. Eagles' biggest lead in this game has been 11, now down to 10. Great way to get the thing started. It was a very close game. The first quarter on Friday, Hobbs is actually down by 1 at the end of 1.
Exactly. We were thinking if Hobbs started off strong, they can definitely make this contest theirs.
They want a lot of point production in this game. Pass down to Sullivan in the left corner. Actually, that was Gee. Tries to bounce it back door. Fadeaway shot from the right block for Gossen off the back of the rim, and a try for a touch over the iron. And they're going to say it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Hobbs basketball. Looks like Coach Zumbra now going to his bench and bringing in 3 different players out there, subs. We'll try to sort through those guys in just a minute. One stepping on the court is Xavius Onsiris. Also checking on, too, Josiah Galindo for his first action of the game. And on for the Eagles. Braddock Beatty seeing his first time. Turbiantes, Henderson, and Pena still in the game. Pena will get the pass on the left wing in the front court, leading by 10. Back to Beatty on the right wing, uses up his dribble to Vega right side, and back to Beatty. Beatty comes up the right sideline off the dribble, hippity hop and stop, back to Pena at the time stripe. Eagles being very patient on offense, screen from Henderson, dribble to the right elbow, does Pena, kick out left to Vega for 3 and another one. The sophomore is on fire. 3 trays here in the first quarter for 9 points and a 13-point Eagle lead. They want to move on to the semifinals. The Eagles almost get a steal at the time strike. Turbiantes and Vega going hard against Samuel Gee. A deflection, but they went off the Eagles' hand in front of the Taskovich band. Carlsbad basketball. The inbound to the backcourt to Chavarria for the blue and white. They trail by 13. Screen up top of the arc. Coming from Ontiveros, passed down to the left corner, returned it back to the left side to Gee. Drives the right side of the paint, spin move, reverse layup right, gets knocked to the floor on a sidewinder hook. Going left to right underneath the hoop. Turbiantes banged into him with the hip that time, so he gets the foul. That'll be his first, second team foul on the Eagles.
Yeah, there's only been 5 total fouls called so far in this game, 3 for Hobbs and 2 for Carlsbad. So far it's been clean, and we like to see that, although I would like to see Hobbs on the line a little bit more.
Gee gets the first free throw. Carlsbad now 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. And now 16-4 is the score. Mentioned Carlsbad came into this series with the 2 games prior to 20 of 28 for 71%. Misses off the front of the rim on the second one for Gee, but a rebound pulled down on the right elbow for Galindo. Sends it left corner and driving to the lane on the left side is Orgain, high off the glass for 2. His second bucket for 4 points. 16-6. Eagles up by 10. Payne in the front court, going to slow it down against the defense of Galindo on the near right sideline, just above the time stripe. Gets a screen on the right side from Turbiates, drives to the free throw line, kick it left corner to Beatty. Beatty goes through 3 defenders, up top to Pena, swing it right to Henderson, or make that Hernandez who just checked in on the right wing. Over to left side to Beatty. Beatty with a jab step, drives baseline. 180-degree turn here. Lost the ball, getting a hand on it momentarily was on Ceres, able to get up top to Vega. Over to right wing to Pena. Double team against him on the near right sideline. Up top to Vega with a couple of dribbles. Scoop pass back to Pena in the right corner. Thought about a 3, came out of the pressure that he had 2 guys on him and backs it out to the sideline right. To Vega in the right corner, returns to Pena at the time stripe. Eagles well outside the perimeter on this offense. Down to Vega in the left corner. Takes a few dribbles up the sideline. Over to Pena on the right wing. Fakes a pass right. Gives it back to Beatty left. Down to Vega left corner for 3. This one off the rim for his first miss. Loose at the free throw line. And a rebound pulled down by Galindo, but a bad pass to the timeline. Beatty's going to step up and fire the 3 after getting to steal and nails it. Beatty getting his first bucket of the ball game. He had 9 points on Friday. That was the 3rd Carlsbad turnover. Eagles back up by 13. They're tying their biggest lead. In the front court, over to the right wing for Carlsbad to Galindo. Takes a few dribbles, hands the ball off on the right side. 3 on the way for Gee. It's an air ball. Turbiates chases it down in the left corner, and that will end the first quarter of action. So Turbiates picks up his 2nd rebound. Your Hobbs Eagles, double-digit lead at the end of 1 over Carlsbad in the first round of the district tournament here at Tasker Arena, 19-6. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to action at Tasker Arena as we are rolling right now. 19-6 at the end of the first quarter. We're getting into the second, and Hobbs is on a roll, and the crowd is loving it. And for the call, here is Ty Friend.
First round of the district tournament here at Tasker, 19-6, a 13-point lead. 9 points for Braylon Vega on 3 trays. Abraham Pena 5. Braddock Beatty hit a tray for 3 and a bucket for Henderson for 2. Carlsbad has 2 buckets from Orgain for 4. 1 apiece points for Sullivan and Gee. Carlsbad basketball to start the second, down by 13. Pass up top to Chavarria. He'll back it out to the timeline. Guarded by Hernandez. Gets a screen up top from Gossett. Doesn't use it. One-hand pass over to right wing to Gee. Guarded closely by Clay, who stepped on here in the second quarter. Takes it to the corner right. Returns the ball on the right wing to Chavarria. Back deep to Gossett. Gossett's going to post up in the middle with a pass down low to Sullivan. Kick it to the right corner for Gee for 3. Off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound in the left corner by Abraham Pena, his first board. It was 5-5 on rebounds for both teams in the first quarter. Eagles with 1 turnover, 3 for Carlsbad. Pass up top to Clay. Swing right to Beatty. Another 3 on the way. This one off the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound for Orgain on the far right side, his first board. Throws it down the court. Scoop shot on the right, missed by Gee. And a pull down for the Eagles by Beatty on his first rebound of the contest. Beatty will come into the front court and gives off to Pena on the right wing. 6:55 left, second quarter. Eagles up by 13. He'll back it out to the timeline off the dribble, being guarded by Chavarria. Allows to Beatty on the right wing. Returns back to Pena. Getting a screen from Turbiates on a double team. They're going to say Pena with a carry on the basketball. He opens his mouth up wide to the official like, what are you calling there? That's only the second turnover, though, for the Eagles. Only had 7 on Friday night against Carlsbad in that 8-point win, Ron.
Exactly, and yeah, as long as Hobbs can keep it clean, they can get this victory, and right now they're rolling right now.
Pass will come across the timeline to Orgain on the right wing, getting the screen from Gossett. He's going to fire up a wide three off the back of the iron. Turbiantes rips it down for the Eagles in the middle of the paint, hits third. Driving through traffic to the other end of the court, misses the scoop over the front of the rim, no good. Rebound on the left block for Carlsbad by Sullivan, his second. Does it up ahead to a breaking Gee at the layup on the right side off the reverse. He's got 3. 19-8, Hobbs by 11. Here comes Josiah Clay with the dribble across the timeline, and Coach Ross does not like the shift of momentum here. Carlsbad's starting to move the ball up the court, Ron, kind of playing out of the Hobbs Eagle playbook. He calls the timeout.
Exactly. I mean, it may be a little early, but still, Ross knows what he's talking about when he says, look, we got to get back into it. We were doing so well in the first quarter. We do not need a misstumble in the second and have it a close contest by the end of the half. So, yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you're on the right page, on the same page, and being able to perform at your peak, because this could be the last game.
Hey, Ron, how do you think about the Hobbs Eagles moving up to the 16th spot in the Max Preps poll right before the district tournament? How important is that when you have 16 teams going to state?
It's always important, but we've also seen teams at 16 not make the playoffs. So we're hoping that that will give them a lot of street cred, so to speak, and be able to get them in the playoffs.
Should mention that the Hobbs strength of schedule is better than 11 of the top 15 teams that would go to state if they'd issued the Max Preps poll. 11 of the 15 top teams in the state, they have a better strength of schedule, so that will be a big plus for the Hobbs Eagles. Again, wins against Artesia District Champ, Los Lunas District Champ, and a couple other good wins as well. Hobbs basketball after a timeout. They post up Turbiantes on the right block against a double team. To Clay on the right wing. Gives it up top to Braddock Beatty. Sends it over the left side to Pena. Pena with the righty dribble down the lane. Fade shot from the right block. Kind of shot puts it up there off the back of the rim. No good. Waiting for it in the middle of the paint is Sullivan for his third rebound. Hobbs not getting any crash on the boards on the offensive glass there. To Gee at the timeline. He'll bring it across. Screen up top from Gossett. Cross over to the right side. Spins in the lane. Reverse left. Throws up a shot over the top of his head and scores it. Got knocked down, but he still put it up. He's got 5. 19-10, a 9-point lead for the Eagles. Starting to chip away at the lead of the blue and white. Over to Pena on the left wing, front court. Back up top to Clay, but a soft pass. It's stolen away. Reverse layup right side. It's scored by Chavarria for his first bucket. Third turnover. Eagles getting lackadaisical now.
Exactly. They need to get that cleared up real quick.
19-12. Hobbs up by 7. Eagles had the lead at the quarter. 19-6. Up by 13. Now down to 7. Driving to the right block is Clay, posting up Turbiantes, goes up strong, double clutch, his foul as he tries to go underneath the hoop and then kind of back it out at the last second. Ball came off the rim, but a foul call that'll be charged to the Carlsbad Cavemen. That's Sullivan's first personal. They had no fouls in the first quarter. They have their first here in the second. As Turbiantes will get a chance for 2 free throws, his first opportunity tonight. He is shooting 60% on the season from the charity stripe.
And once again, 3 minutes into this quarter, Hobbs hasn't scored yet. Hopefully they will now and get back into it, because this is a 6-0 run for Carlsbad.
First free throw good for Turbiantes. Hobbs now 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. Payne hit one earlier. Subs are coming on for the Eagles. Vega returns, Soria returns, and getting his first action tonight for the Eagles, the freshman Amron Wheeler. Second shot for Turbiantes, bouncing around the rim and no good. Ripped down on the right block by Orgain for Carlsbad, his second rebound. Outlet to the near left side to Chavarria, taking on Soria. Dribbles behind his back, still behind the half-court stripe. Gives it up top to Herrera. Fires up a fadeaway 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Pulling it down is Clay on the near right side. He'll dribble up the court. That's his first board. Bounce pass down low to Wheeler, right block. Dribbles underneath the hoop, reverse layup, scoop. Hits the bottom of the backboard. Long rebound for Orgain in transition, his third. He spins to the right side of the lane, bumps into his defender, and they call the block foul on Soria. Coach Ross jumped up to the baseline, thought he was going to get the charge call there, but instead they're also going to count the basket. Thought that the contact was made well before the shot attempt there. They're going to call that foul on the Eagles as they'll charge it to Lyric Soria, his first. First team foul here in the second quarter. And they're going to count the basket, as I mentioned, for Orgain. He's got 6 to lead Carlsbad.
Yeah, apparently the feet weren't set according to the refs. So, yeah, Soria could not get that charge call.
Free throw good for Orgain. He leads his squad with 7 for the Cavemen. 20-15 now, down to a 5-point game. So they've whittled off 8 points off that 13-point lead at the end of 1. Clay in the front court. One hands into the timeline. A loose pass again. Picked up by Soria. Over to Vega, right corner. Fadeaway 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Henderson trying to battle for it. Saved by Vega on the right baseline. Into the middle to Wheeler. Turnaround jumper. He's bodied up and fouled. Ball comes off the back of the rim. Eagles getting a chance for more free throws. Nice save for Vega to keep it alive, though.
Yeah, so far, though, no shots have been dropping for Hobbs in this second quarter, only with 1 point, and they are struggling to get into it. But, hey, it's the second quarter. They still have 4 minutes to go. They can get it back into it.
Wheeler's shooting 66% from the season, as he'll get a couple of free throws here to try to extend it to a 7-point lead, up 20-15 right now. Shot is up and switched for Wheeler. That's his first point of the ball game. Eagles now 3 of 4 from the charity stripe for 75%. Carlsbad now with 2 fouls as a team. That was against Orgain, by the way, for his first. Second shot coming for Wheeler is up, and it is bouncing off the rim, no good. Pulled down in the left block. Orgain again, another rebound for him. He keeps jumping high. That's his 4th rebound. Coming across the timeline to the pass to, Orgain. No, he gives it off to Zenas Huerta. Thought that was Orgain for just a second there. Huerta had just come in during the break. Scoop pass off the left wing to Gossett. Gossett taking his time, hands it back behind him to Huerta at the time stripe. Screen from Gossett. Dribbles the right elbow, fumbles the ball a little bit. Kicks it off left corner to Gee. Fakes a 3, hippity hop down the lane, left side. Double clutch is fouled from underneath. Henderson tried to come over and help Wheeler that time. They get the foul call. See who they call the foul against here. It'll be 2 free throws for Gee. He's starting to weave his way into traffic now against the Eagles. That will be their second team foul. Still waiting to see who this is against. The referee is having to look back to the underneath the hoop to make the decision on this one and get some cat calls now from the Hobbs Eagles student section. Yeah, that will be against Vega. Second foul on him. Second team foul, both teams with 2. Gee on the line. He is 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Shots up and good. He's got 6 points. Ties up O'Grain, both with 6. They are now 4 of 6 from the charity stripe for 66%. Coach Summer going to go back to his bench and bring in Xavier Onsiris, as taking a seat is Shane Sullivan. 21-16, Hobbs by 5 with 3:38 left second quarter, and kind of a fast-moving half so far.
Oh, yeah, but they usually are, especially if you don't have a whole lot of fouls going on for either side. It usually tends to go quickly. But, yeah, Hobbs needs to make some adjustments either now and or in the half and try to get back into it. They had this big double-digit lead that they've lost down to 5.
Gee's second shot bouncing around the rim, no good. Henderson pulls it down for his second rebound and gives it off to Soria. He'll bring it across the time stripe up the middle. Unloads to Pena, far left side in front of the scorer's table. 1 dribble, no look pass to Vega in the left corner. Couple dribbles himself, cross court right to Soria. To Henderson, top of the circle with the pivot. Finds Pena in the left wing, down to 3:18. Gets a screen. Dribbles the ball off the foot of Gossett. That'll be a turnover for the Eagles, their 4th. Gossett will pick it up, take a few dribbles himself, the big post player, and hands it off to Huerta on the left wing. Comes back to the time stripe as Vega will pick him up on defense. Stop and go for Huerta. Comes to the right and then hands it off to Orgain. Orgain on the right wing. He'll back it out towards the scorer's table, far right sideline. Top of the arc off the dribble. Unloads to Gee on the left wing. Drives the right side of the lane. Fade away is rejected by Henderson on the right block, but pulled down in the left block by Onsiris. Goes back to the door to Gossett. Makes a hook shot attempt and rejected by Henderson. Rebound by Pena. Throws it into the front court to Vega. Tries a 3 from the deep left corner. Knocked backward past the sideline to the Eagles fan section over there on the far left, and is knocked down hard. Almost hit his head on the bottom rung there.
Yeah, but luckily he didn't, and now he's set up for 3 on the line.
So 3-point opportunity here. That's a 3rd team foul against Carlsbad. They get the foul call against Onsiris. The missed free throw off the right side of the rim. Kind of a clunker there for Vega. Vega came into the contest shooting on the charity stripe at 74%.
Hobbs unable to put any points on the floor from the field anyway. They've been just 2 from the charity stripe, and right now they're struggling again to get anything going on the charity stripe.
Yeah, missed off the front of the rim this time, so having some issues on that iron. Eagles have been on the line 7 times and have converted 3 of those, less than 50%. 21-16, trying to add on to a 5-point lead here in the second quarter. 2:38 remaining. 1 more for Vega. He's got 9 points, could be double digits, and does make the free throw now with 10. He had 3 trays in the first quarter. 22-16, Eagles by 6. Couple of passes for Carlsbad. Coming across is Gee. Puts on the brakes at the left elbow. No-look pass down to the right corner. Don Ceres keeps it on the same side to Orgain on the right wing. Drives the left side of the lane. Turns and fires a sidewinder off the front of the rim. Bouncing around, no good. Rebound, Payne on the far left. He'll take his dribble. He has 3 boards. Down the lane. Reverse layup right side. Count the basket off the glass and a flop by Gee. That's going to get him a foul and a block. Count the bucket and a chance for a 3-point play.
And that's how we got the lead in the first quarter. Second quarter hasn't seen that till now. 2:16 remaining, and Hobbs needs to get back into it, come alive on the offense.
That's 7 now for Pena. He's 1 for 1 for the charity stripe. 24-16, an 8-point lead. Here comes the shot for Pena on the line. Is good, a swish. He's got 9, make it 8. 25-16, up by 9. Couple of passes again, long one down to Orgain. Comes down the lane right side, rejected by Parker Henderson. Gets the rebound and then shuts it out to the Eagles. Coming across the timeline, Turbiatis tries to come down the paint with it and runs right into his defender, smashes him in the middle of the paint. Going over the top of Gossett that time. Turbiatis out of control. That's his second personal, 3rd team foul, and the 5th Eagle turnover.
Yeah, the bad thing is when he ran over his defender, he didn't even have the ball at the time. I thought it was going to go out of bounds. And either way, it could have been a loss for the Eagle possession.
2 minutes remaining in the half, 25-16 Eagles. Coming across the timeline off the dribble, Sullivan slows it down with the bounce pass up top to Chavarria. He'll back it out to the timeline. Gets a screen from Gossett up top. Tucks it underneath his biceps, swings it off right side to Orgain for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound underneath, put back up by Gossett off the left glass with 2 hands and scores. 2 points and 2 rebounds now for Gossett, 25-18. Eagles by 7. Pena will slow up as he comes across the timeline, gives to Vega, returns back to Pena. To Turbiatis, top of the circle, pivoting, looking for help. Bounce pass back door to Henderson. Tries to go up and dunk on the right side, but is stripped from behind and a foul. Garen Gossett giving up 6 inches to Henderson. Henderson didn't get the leap he wanted, but it was fouled from behind and get a chance for 2 free throws.
Well, the pass wasn't as clean as he wanted it to be, so he had to take a little extra step, be able to get under there, and then when he was able to get it, when it was not able to get that ball in the basket, but, instead he got the foul, which is just as good.
That's the second on Gossett, 15th foul, which will be double bonus the rest of the half for the Eagles. Henderson with his free throw good. He's got 3 points.
Hobbs trying to salvage that bad start on this second quarter. Looks like they could still maintain the lead if they can continue playing at this level.
6 of 10 from the line so far, the Eagles, 60%. Henderson's second free throw rolls around and good. He's got 4 points, made both of them. 27-18, Eagles back up by 9. Quick game out of left corner for Carlsbad to Chavarria. Sends it to the free throw line, backcourt to Orgain. Double team on the far side off the dribble. Cross court left on a helium throw to Chavarria, comes down with it. Dribbles in the front court, shot from the left block, air ball, and a rebound for the Eagles in transition by Soria, his 3rd. Unloads to Pena front court left wing with 1:07 left in the second. Eagles by 9. Gets past the defender Orgain. Down the lane, the runner. Gives it off left corner to Soria. 3 on the way. Off the side of the rim, no good, and rolls out of bounds on the baseline. Kind of a flat shot that time. Didn't get the extension that he wanted, and he hit the side of the rim.
Yeah, he may have been looking to see if somebody was going to contest him, but since nobody did, it didn't seem to work as far as the shot.
Eagles matching up man-to-man. Now a double team on Gee on the far side. Gets the catch and the throw to half court to Orgain. He'll bring it across to the near left sideline. Cross court right to Gee. Fakes a 3. Dribbles to the right corner. Stop and go on the baseline. Underneath the hoop. Slings it back over to Orgain. Left wing for 3 and swishes it. That's Orgain's first tray of the ball game. He's got 10 to lead the Cavemen. 27-21. Hobbs still by 6. 33 seconds left here in the second. Pena will bring it across as he's guarded by Galindo. Comes to the right wing, dribbles behind his back, fadeaway jumper from the right elbow, count it. Good body control for Pena as he put on the brakes and put up the shot. He's got 10, 29-21. Eagles back up by 8. Orgain in the front court with 15 seconds. Top of the arc off the dribble, screen from Gossett. Goes to the left side and throws up a tray off the side of the iron, no good on the left. Rebound by Soria, who's tied up quickly. That's Soria's 4th rebound. The freshman guard acted like a big post player. They might have called a foul here. Looks like they did. They're going to call that on Carlsbad. That means Soria will get the free throws at the other end. And a possibility to make this a double-digit lead at the half. That is the 6th team foul against Carlsbad. 5, of course, is a double bonus. But more importantly, Ron, that's the post player, Garen Gossett's 3rd personal.
Exactly, and one of the players that we were a little concerned about from Carlsbad, he does make things happen on the court. And if he's got 3 fouls, then he's definitely going to be staggered out for the rest of the game.
Soria misses the first free throw off the back of the rim, trying to get himself in the scorebook here. He'll get one more to try to extend the lead to 9.
Could have had a 10-point lead, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But we can still put it up to 9 like you just said.
That was his first free throw attempt of the season. One more now for Soria is a swish. 1 of 2 on the charity stripe. Eagles by 9 with 6 seconds left. The inbound to Gee. Dribbles hard across the timeline on the right wing. Continues down the lane. They're going to call the travel. He went through 2 defenders. Henderson and Vega saw the whistle or heard the whistle there. Thought they might have called a reach foul, but instead a turnover on the travel. The 4th for Carlsbad.
Hobbs has one more chance to get a score.
Inbound to Pena in the backcourt, comes across the timeline, shot at the buzzer, is in and out, almost dropped through the cylinder. The Hobbs Eagles, though, still have the lead at the half over Carlsbad, 30-21, here in the district tournament opening round game at Tasker Arena. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to halftime here at Tasker Arena. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles first round of the district tournament here at Tasker. They lead Carlsbad 30-21. Of course, the Eagles split with Carlsbad during the regular season, and of course, with the win on Friday night, put them in a good position to host this game. And it is a must-win. We talked about that in the pregame show, Ron. Hobbs underneath 500 right now at 11-15. They couldn't even get to 500 even with 3 wins in the district tournament, so 14-15 the best they can do. But at this point, they got the 16th ranking in the Max Preps poll. That just would be the last slot that would get into the state tournament. But there could be some movement, too, in the rankings based on how teams do in their district tournaments. A team that might not be that great might win their district tournament and get a slot. They could be ranked 19th, 20th, and they get that automatic berth, which would slide everybody down one. So that's something that's kind of I'm sure on the mind of Coach Ross and Coach Reeves and the rest of the team itself, that they got to get the win here tonight. Started out pretty good, 19-6 in that first quarter. Hobbs up by 13, double-digit lead. But in the second, it was 11-15. They gave up 4 more points to Carlsbad, who kind of got that lead down to single digits, although Hobbs kind of got some free throws to help him out towards the end there.
Yeah, but it took a while. In fact, it was 3 minutes until the halftime before Hobbs was able to not only get a score on the field, but they had a nice little drive up there and be able to get the field goal shot going in. Otherwise, they were living off of this charity stripe, and even then they were missing quite a few. In fact, I think they missed about 4 charity stripe shots at least. So they had all those points on the floor trying to get back into, or at least try to get back up to a double-digit lead. They haven't got it yet, but still, according to what we see right now, Carlsbad has not been able to score more than 50 points. Right now they're set to score about 44, 45 roughly at best, with their average with 21 right now in the first half. In fact, the best they did was just the other day with 48. So, you know, we're seeing a Carlsbad team that is anemic on their scoring. Hobbs, on the other hand, looked pretty strong in the first, struggled a little bit in the second. I think they're going to come out in the third, and maybe they'll have the same kind of results they had just the other day with scoring at least 20 points in that third quarter.
Well, let's look at the numbers in this game. Only one in double digits for Carlsbad. That is Kyron Orgain. He's got 10 points. 6 of those in the second quarter. Did hit a tray in the second. Is 1-1 from the line. Has 4 rebounds as well. He is the leading rebounder so far for Carlsbad. 6 points for Samuel Gee. Has not yet hit a three-pointer, but he does know how to stroke them. He did some on Friday night in their loss to the Eagles. He is 2 for 4 from the line with 1 rebound. Garen Gossett has a bucket for 2 points and 2 boards. Jacob Chavarria scored once for 2 points. And it was Shane Sullivan went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point. They've already had 5 scores in the game, but all low numbers besides Orgain and Gee. A total of 12 rebounds for Carlsbad, 4 for Orgain, he's the leader, and 3 for Sullivan. Carlsbad not doing a great job on the line, haven't had a lot of chances yet though, 4 of 7 for 57%. They've had 4 turnovers, 1 less than the Hobbs Eagles. Most of the Eagles' turnovers came in the second quarter.
Right.
And that's pretty much it for Carlsbad's numbers. Let's look at the Hobbs Eagles. They've got 2 in double digits. Braylon Vega hit 3 trays in the first quarter for 9 points and added a free throw in the second for 10 and 1 rebound. Abraham Pena with 10 points as well. Been very balanced. In fact, 5 points in each of the quarters. He went 2 of 2 from the charity stripe and had 3 rebounds. So Braylon Vega and Pena with 20 of the Hobbs Eagles' 30 points. That is 66% of the offensive production so far. Parker Henderson with 4 points. He was 2 for 2, perfect on the line, and had 3 rebounds. Braddock Beatty coming off the bench for a tray and 3 points. And a lot of guys getting a point apiece on 1 of 2 free throw shooting. Lyric Soria, Jairus Turbiatis, and Amron Wheeler. Soria added 4 rebounds for the Eagles. The freshman really hitting the glass hard. Jairus Turbiatis had 3 boards as well. The Eagles have had a total of 7 scores in the first half of action. And I mentioned they did lead in rebounding, 16-12. The leader being Soria with 4, 3 apiece for Turbiatis, Pena, and Henderson. Eagles with 1 more turnover in the first half, 5-4. And the free throw situation, 8 of 13 for 61%. Now, the 2 games prior, Hobbs had 13 of 23 for 56%. So they're doing a little bit better in this game, but still, a lot of those extra points that they could have been adding with no defense in your face could have been more of a double-digit lead here at halftime, instead just 9.
Exactly, and you know, you're supposed to get better as the season progresses on your free throws, and unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case. In the last game, it was 9 of 18. This time around, maybe a little bit better for the Hobbs Eagles, but still something that they need to concentrate on. In fact, Vega was the one that missed 2 out of 3 on his attempts just moments ago, and we thought that maybe he was getting a lot better. It seemed like he was anyway, but that time around, for whatever reason, he just was missing the cylinder and was not making those shots. So hopefully they'll get a whole lot better and get those extra points when they can.
Well, those 3 trays, Braylon Vega now with 48 three-pointers this season. Big threes coming in that first quarter. Definitely a good stroke for him. as we talk about the state playoffs, and of course the Hobbs Eagles winning this game tonight would go to Roswell on Thursday. I talked to you about that during the pregame show. Coach Reeves talking a little bit about how he's nervous about Roswell. They're kind of a tenacious, scrappy, defensive type of team. Exactly what they did against Clovis last night. That game between Clovis and Roswell was a pre-playoff game to see who would be the regular season champ. Both those teams were tied with the same record. They ended up playing that here at Tasker Arena, 55-44. Clovis getting the win in that one. Jaden and Marvin Cox combined for 41 points for the Wildcats in that win. Both the Cox brothers getting 9 points apiece in the fourth quarter. They scored 20 as a team in the fourth to pull out the victory. And Roswell and Stephen McCaskill with 13 points, 11 of those, though, in the first half. He was quiet, only one bucket in the second half. Also, Rylan Saraceno finished with 10 points. So, pretty close game until the fourth quarter. That's when Clovis kind of pulled away from that. Clovis was not doing a good job of shooting free throws in that first 3 quarters. They were 5 of 12, but then went 8 of 11 in the fourth quarter to finish off 13 of 23. But free throws helped him a little bit in the fourth, and that Cox brother combination helping out as well. So tough. It's going to be tough regardless. You know, Roswell first, Clovis first, really doesn't matter. 2 road trips for the Hobbs Eagles this week.
Well, Coach Ross may be thinking that, you know, Roswell is not the way to go, but I think it is. I think Roswell has their ups and downs. Yes, they are good on defense, but they struggle on the offense. This is the reason why they don't have as many points as you would think they would with such a strong defense.
Ready for second half action here at Tasker Arena. We're going to get it going now as the Eagles will have it to start the third quarter, up by 9, 30-21. Braddock Beatty in the front court. He starts the second half, gives over to Pena on the right wing, dumping it down to Henderson on the right block, turns and fires a point-blank range J inside the lane from the right side and puts it through. Nice touch there for Parker Henderson. He's got 6 points. 32-21, an 11-point lead. Pass deflected across the timeline, picked up by Gossett. Gives it off right wing to Orgain, double team. Now Beatty will pick him up on the right wing. Orgain's going to back it up toward the timeline. Top of the arc, gets a screen from Gossett. Turns and fires a shot from the left elbow. Off balance, off the back of the rim. Yells at the ref, thought he got fouled. Rebound by Henderson, middle of the paint, his fourth board. Over to right wing to Vega, gives it back to Henderson on the right block. Turns it around and shoots a J, but it's rejected by Gee. Rebound underneath, wide open for it was Sullivan, his fourth board. Across the top end to Orgain, drives the middle of the paint. Sends it over to the left corner to Chavarria. Takes a drive to the far sideline near the scores table. Up top to Gossett. Holds the ball for a second, the post player, handing it off behind him to Gee. He'll fire up a tray. Clinks off the front of the rim, no good. Another rebound for Henderson, just waiting for it underneath the hoop. That's his 5th board. Outlet to Pady at the time stripe. Eagles by 11. Over to Vega on the left wing, hand off to Gossett. Underhands it back to the time stripe to Pena. Pena comes around the right circle, guarded by Chavarria. To Vega on the right wing, down low to Henderson, gets held from behind. He was going to go up and jam it, but Gossett got his wrist from behind on the foul, and that's Gossett's 4th personal. Very critical foul on him, Ron.
Exactly, and one more, and he is done for the night. In fact, right now he's got to sit down for a moment longer. Think about what he's done before he comes back.
Sub coming in for him, Jonathan Ontiveros. Inbounding Vega on the right base, gets it into Henderson right corner, hand off to Vega behind him. Drives the middle of the paint, over to Turbiatas left corner, to Braddock Beatty on the left side as well. 18-footer off the side of the rim on the J, no good. Pena gets a rebound, fade away from the left elbow and drills it through. A rebound and a bucket for Pena, 12 points and 4 boards for the junior. 34-21, Eagles matching their biggest lead of the first half at 13. Good start here in the third. Jacob Chavarria with the basketball, takes on Beatty across the time stripe, far left sideline, waiting for a screen from Ontiveros. Takes it down the lane, over to Orgain right wing, dribbles to the free throw line, stop and go. Breaks through 2 defense pressure there and all the way to the rack as he lays it in for 2. Orgain scoring, and a quick timeout for Coach Zumbrin. Orgain now with 12 points. And Ron, give us a chance to hear about our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle basketball.
Absolutely. Without them, we would not be here. It's First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, The Coffee House, TDS, Thriftway, NMR Pipeline, Devon Energy, The Model, Emerson Media and Design, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you guys for all the support.
Big night for district tournament basketball. A lot of games are rescheduled due to some wind conditions around southeast New Mexico, but there is a game tonight. Lovington Lady Cats leading on Goddard there in the first round of their district tournament.
In fact, yeah, they were up 38-13 at half, so it looks like the girls are going to be going to the next round of the district for the Leamington Lady Wildcats.
That'd be playing Portales. The winner of that game would go against the Artesia Lady Bulldogs, the regular season champs.
Yeah, that won't be easy.
We've got a bunch of those games on YouTube, also on the radio, KZOR, picking up some of those here in the next few days. Hobbs Eagle basketball after the timeout. Payne going to drive to the free throw line, throws up a J, and he puts it through the rack. Big shot there for Pena. He's got 2 buckets here in the third, 14 now for Abraham. Pena tried to get a steal on the inbound in the paint, and he is landing on his right hip, holding his leg or possibly his hip there.
His hip.
Tried to make a steal and slid across the lane in the backcourt, and he is on his back right now. The athletic trainer helping him out. Dude's out there. And he just hit the floor pretty hard. They called a foul, maybe a push by Carlsbad from behind. That was Chavarria they called that. Actually Samuel Gee, his second team foul against the K-Man here in the third quarter. Not a good situation there. Payne was trying to get the steal in the lane in the backcourt. Might have got pushed or something, hit the floor hard, and now he's going to get pulled up quickly, though, after laying down for a few seconds, and he's going to try to walk it off. He's going to have to leave the court for at least a play here, as they took a long time, although the ref might be leaving him on the court. I can't believe that. Usually at that long of a delay, you have to take him out. He is holding his butt, actually, on the right side, so hopefully it's just a flesh wound and not a pull or something else, or maybe ligament or something. But, yeah, now they're going to make him go out of the game and take a breather there, which should have happened anyway.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't, but this time around, yeah, he does get to sit for a moment and try to recuperate.
Vega gets the inbound from the left baseline into Henderson. Fadeaway Jay in the middle of the paint, puts another one down. He's got 8 points. Got himself big on that one, 38-23. That's the Eagles' biggest lead of the contest at 15. Long pass the other end to Gee on the left wing. Gives it up top. 3 on the way for Chavarria off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound, Turbiantes sky high for his 4th rebound from the left block. He'll take a few dribbles himself. Unloads to the timeline to Vega. Hobbs by 15. Crossover move to his left hand, down the lane. Fires a shot on the run and puts it through at the J in the middle of the paint. Vega has 12 points.
10-2 run for Hobbs right now.
40-23, biggest lead now is 17. Coming down the lane, a pass to the left block, fadeaway jumper, air ball put up by Ontiveros. Ball gets knocked around the lane, Orgain comes up with it. He goes up with his left hand on the left glass and scores. Orgain now with 14 points and 5 rebounds. 40-25, Eagles by 15. Sona down just a bit now. Osorio off the dribble across the time stripe. Gives it to Vega, gets it back, swings left to Beatty. Again to Soria at the timeline. Stepping out on D now is Chavarria. Dribbles to the left circle, spins, gives up top to Turbiantes. Returns to Soria on the left wing. One hands it over to Vega, right side arc. He'll fire up a 15-footer on the run and puts another one through the cylinder. Vega getting on fire. Both him and Payne have hit 2 buckets here in the third quarter apiece. Both have 14. 42-25, going to the other end. Orgain goes to the rack on the right, kind of shot, puts it off the glass, gets double teamed as he tries to split the defenders on the right block. That was Henderson and Beatty. We'll see which one gets the foul. It will be Beatty getting the pickup on that one. His first team foul against the Eagles here in the third.
So far, the only player on the Carlsbad side who has got any kind of stroke going on is Orgain, and he has he's trying to carry them Cavemen all the way to this game, but so far just has not been able to get enough points to make a difference. He
was 1 for 1 before that free throw and throws a brick off the front of the rim. Carlsbad now 4 of 8 from the charity stripe for 50%. Orgain's had 2 buckets here in the third, trying to get a free throw on top of that and makes it. He's got 15 points. They're now 5 of 9. Sub coming on the court for Carlsbad. That is one of their guards, Zenas Huerta. 42-26, Eagles by 16, but as big as 17 the lead here in the third. Coming across the time stripe, Pena over to Vega, returns it to Pena, top of the circle, to Beatty on the left wing, return to Pena again. Waiting for some screens, dribbles left, continues on, throws up an 18-footer, gets knocked to the floor as he throws up the shot just inside the three-point line left side in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section. Carlsbad not being sound on defense. All they had to do is keep a hand in the face. He was kind of off balance off that shot, but he got crashed into after throwing it up. Jonathan Ontiveros will pick up the foul, third on the Cavemen.
Yeah, he had to adjust to his own body. He wasn't able to, but yeah, luckily he drew the foul, and that will help Hobbs a lot.
Misses his first free throw, though. He's now 2 of 3 as the ball ricocheted off the back of the rim.
Okay, unless Hobbs misses.
He's got 14 points, tied with Vega. 8 for Henderson, who's hit a couple of buckets as well in the third quarter. In fact, 2 buckets apiece for Vega, Pena, and Henderson so far in this third, and we're just almost halfway through it. Free throw up and good for Pena. Hobbs with that free throw are now 9 of 15. 43-26, back up by 17 to match your biggest lead. Pass across the timeline, far left side to Galindo. Backs it out and gives it back to the time stripe to Huerta. Dribbles up top against Beatty. Tries to hand it off to Guy. Almost knocked out of his hands by Pena. Guy recovers. Comes around left side of the circle. Throws it back door to Galindo. Stops in the lane. Reverse layup left. An air ball. Tipped around though. Carlsbad comes up with it. Going back up on the right block was Galindo. Got blocked. Picked up by Henderson. He'll throw up ahead to a breaking Pena with a double clutch on the right side. Glass off the layup. Count it. Pena now has 7 in the third, 17 overall to lead the Eagles. That's how much he scored against Carlsbad on Friday night. 45-26, the biggest lead now is 19 for Hobbs. Into the front of the arc is Galindo. Unloads again on the left wing, drives the right side of the lane on the hippity hop. Fadeaway pass down to the left block is knocked around. Picked up by Galindo, double clutch out the left side and scores middle of the paint. Galindo now with 2 points, 45-28. 2:55 left in the third. Eagles by 17. Now they're going to start with the perimeter passing game as Pena has it now in the front court. Over to Vega right side, down to Henderson right corner. To Pena on the right wing. On the sideline, he's just going to hold it. Posting up Henderson on the right block. He gets shoved in the back. Ball was a low pass, and Henderson couldn't get down low enough for it, but he was pushed, so that will be a foul on Carlsbad. Kind of saving him on the turnover there. That'll be charged to
Jonathan.
Yep, Jonathan Ontiveros, his second 14th foul against the Cavemen. 4-1 foul count in favor of the Eagles right now. Hobbs basketball on the right baseline, leading by 17 underneath their hoop. 2:40 left in the third. Winner will play Roswell on Thursday night on the road. Inbound to Beatty in the right corner. Dribbles around the circle, right side, sideline. Still trying to look for Henderson. Crossover move, Beatty down the lane. Bounce pass to Turbiantes, left baseline. 15-footer in and out, no good. And pulled down by Huerta for the Cavemen. He'll take the dribble himself with 2:20 left here in the third. Eagles by 17. Comes up top of the circle as he gives it off to Sullivan. To Orgain, drives the left of the lane, throws up a shot on the run. It's no good. Pulled down by Pena at the free throw line. Pena's 5th rebound. Drives to the outside of the right part of the lane and is fouled as he comes to the baseline before he get a chance to go up with the shot there.
And that'll put Hobbs in the double bonus.
Yeah, Carlsbad getting a lot of handsy work going on in the last few minutes. Zenas Huerta picks up his first personal, and Pena goes back to the free throw line. He has shot a total of 4 free throws and made 3 of those for 75% with 17 points. First shot's up and swish for Pena.
And it looks like whatever happened on that line when he was laying down grabbing his hip doesn't seem to be affecting him right now.
Well, actually, I think it was actually his butt that he finally ended up being hit hard on the floor there. Now the sciatic nerve goes behind there too, which can give a nice little shock. Second shot for Pena is bounced around the rim and good. 9 points in the third, 19 overall for Pena, and Hobbs up again by 19 for the second time in this quarter. Inbound comes Orgain as he takes on Clay, who just checked in, beats Clay down the middle of the lane, slings it down to the right corner, driving baseline on Averas, cross court left to Orgain, but overthrows him out of bounds to the sideline. Turnover for Carlsbad, but it's been pretty clean on turnovers, both teams with 5 apiece.
Exactly. I mean, neither team has had a whole lot of turnovers. That was just a errant pass that he just could not handle, and it happens from time to time.
Josiah Galindo returns for Carlsbad on the substitution. High inbound in the backcourt, having to jump for it is Ontiveros on the left base. He comes up with it. Throws another high one to Orgain to the timeline. He drives the right side of the paint with a scoop shot rejected by Parker Henderson. It goes out of bounds. Hobbs fans thought it might have ricocheted back off Orgain, but they're going to give it back to the blue and white.
Well, they still have to deal with Henderson, so either way, he's under there ready to block another shot.
They try to inbound backdoor to Guy, but stripped by Turbiantes. He lost the ball, never had control of it. Loose on the far left sideline. Bonnie's diving for it. They're going to call the jump ball. The arrow going to go back to Carlsbad. And Coach Zumbrin runs out of the court, pointing at that far left sideline. I think he said the Hobbs Eagle had a foot on the line and wanted to give it back to his squad. But it's going to be a jump ball regardless. That would burn a jump ball, though, for Carlsbad. He's thinking they should just get the ball regardless. A couple officials are meeting about it now.
Right.
On that far left sideline. They're going to give it to Carlsbad. Just going to keep it with the jump ball. Coach going to get the ball back regardless.
Exactly. Not quite sure exactly what he's arguing about other than the fact of the jump ball.
Inbound to the backcourt to Gee. He'll bring it across against Turbiatis in 135. Crossover. Gee lost the ball at the lefty dribble. Unloads it, though, to the left wing to Galindo. Tries to throw it down the left base. Has to be saved by Ontiveros, but right back to the Eagles. Pena goes to the rack at the other end. Misses the righty layup, but tipped back over the top by Turbiatis. That's his 3rd point, 5th rebound, and the 6th Carlsbad turnover. Eagles had their biggest lead of 21 here in the 3rd. 1:15 remaining in the 3rd. In the front corner, Gain, stop and go. Shot for the top of the arc for 3. Bounces off the left rim, goes to the baseline. Saved by Gain as he touches it back to the left corner. Carlsbad basketball to Ontiveros. Up top of the arc to Galindo. Guarded by Turbiatis, the screen on the left side. Loads it to Gain in the left corner. Down the baseline, they call the block foul before the shot can be put up on the left block. Call that on Clay. That'll be his first personal. And the 2nd team foul against Eagles here in the 3rd quarter. Lots of subs going to check in for Hobbs, Soria, Wheeler, and Hernandez. As taking a seat will be Pena, Turbiatis, and Henderson.
Yeah, that is only the 2nd foul, and the quarter is just about to end with under a minute to go.
Inbound comes to the left wing to Chavarria. Up top, Galindo, or make that, or Grain. Off the back of the rim, no good. Vega gets the rebound for the Eagles, his 2nd. Dribbles into the front court, stop and go to Wheeler in the left corner. Slings it in the middle of the paint to Hernandez. Turns and fires a J off the back of the rim. No good. Battle for the boards. They got a tie up underneath. Wheeler going to battle with his opponent that time, Xavier Ontiveros. Quick whistle by the official. That'll be an arrow for the Eagles. Now the 2 officials that were meeting a few minutes ago at the other end when Coach Zummer was talking to them, now they're going to have another conversation. It will be Hobbs basketball. Surrey on the right base to inbound. Gets it into Vega, fires up a 3 off the front of the iron, no good. And pulled down at the free throw by Gain. That's his 6th board. Goes to the rack at the other end. Reverse layup on the right side and scores off the glass. He's got 7 here on the 3rd, 17 overall, 49-30. A whistles, the Eagles get it across the timeline. There is a reach foul against Carlsbad, a double bonus. Had that since most of this 3rd quarter as they charge the foul to Gain. That's his 2nd. 6th foul against the Cavemen. That's the 2nd time in a row, 2nd quarter and 3rd. The Eagles have been in double bonus.
Exactly, and you know what? So far, Hobbs is rolling again, struggling in the 2nd quarter, but the 3rd quarter has been theirs once again. And this is the 2nd time, the 2nd game that Hobbs has played so well that they've got 20 for the lead.
Soria with the free throw. He is now 2 of 3 from the charity stripe for 2 points, and he misses the 2nd off the front of the rim, pulled down by Gain. That's his 7th rebound. He'll take the dribble himself, stop and go near the timeline. Gives it off to Chavarria. He'll bring it across. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Hobbs by 20. Top of the arc, uses the dribble and the breaks, kicks it off right wing. 3 on the way, in and out, no good for Sullivan. Pulled down by the Eagles on the right block. That was Jaime Cano who had just checked in. Eagles throw it to half court, and I don't know if they get the shot off in time. It's short anyway. No good for Clay. At the end of 3, though, your Hobbs Eagles have a 20-point lead over Carlsbad, 50-30. The winner goes to the semifinals of the district tournament. Back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena. We are live. It is a 50-30 game. Hobbs has been explosive in the 3rd quarter, and they've gotten the control of this game. And for the call, here is Ty Friend.
Eagles with 20 points, just 9 for Carlsbad in that 3rd quarter. Get you your top producers here in just a minute. Chavarria's going to fire a three to get the third quarter started and nails it for Carlsbad. That's his 5th point of the ball game. Their leader is Orgain with 17, only guy in double digits. Eagles have 2, Pena with 19, and Vega 14, 8 for Parker Henderson. Eagle basketball, Beatty on the right wing, drives the lane, a runner shot off the glass and counted on the right side. Beatty puts it through the hole. He's got 5 points, 52-33. Going to the quickly the other end. Chavarria at the double clutch on the left glass, coming down the paint, and they get the foul in the bucket for him. He's back-to-back scoring now for Carlsbad with 7 points and a chance to make it 8 with the free throw.
Yeah, Carlsbad is still trying to keep into it. They're still way behind, but still trying to make a difference and get those points as quickly as possible. Right now it's just been a back and forth.
Parker Henderson with the foul, his second. Chance for that three-point play for Chavarria. Chavarria so far has not shot a free throw in this contest. They were 5 of 9 up until this point. 52-35, make it 52-36 as Chavarria makes the free throw. He has got 8 points. 52-36, a 16-point lead for the Hobbs Eagles. Coming in with that 11-15 record, Carlsbad 513 in all. Inbound to Turbiatis at the timeline, touches it back to Beatty. He'll bring it across the stripe in the front court. Unloads to Pena near the scorer's table far right. As he takes on Chavarria. Hard dribble to the free throw line, spins out of it. One hands over to Beatty on the right wing. Fakes a pass. Hippity hop against a double team. Up top to Pena. Fakes a three. Kick it left to Vega. He'll fire the three. Rainbow jumper. Nothing but net. Vega had 3 trays in the first and now 1 in the fourth for 17 total. A steal on the inbound from Pena. That's a 7th turnover for Carlsbad. Slings it down to Beatty on the right block, who lays it in for 2. So Beatty now starting to get some points. He's got 7. Another steal. Beatty going to the rack. Misses the shot, but tipped back up and in by Turbiatis off the left glass. Turbiatis with 5 points, 6 rebounds. Carlsbad with 8 turnovers, and Coach Subrin called the timeout. Eagles are starting to light it up. They're up by 23, their biggest lead of the game, Ron.
Yeah, they are. You know what they're also doing? They're turning up the defense. They're getting on that front end and being able to get all those extra shots in because the defense is making the turnovers happen for Carlsbad. And, of course, Coach over there did not want to have any more problems with that. Wants to stop the bleeding now because it is early in the quarter, and they cannot afford to lose any more points if they want to get this victory.
Of course, the Eagles lost the first game of the series by 1 point. They came back and won by 8 on Friday night. This one up by 23, and definitely the way you want to kind of punch your ticket on to the next round of the district tournament.
Exactly, and it looked like, Hobbs is going to, I told you that if they scored 60 points, they were assured a victory. At least they had a better chance of getting a victory. Right now they're at 59 points. They've got Carlsbad at 36. They were going to be averaging about 44, 45 points. That could still happen, and because of that, Hobbs could go in and advance and be in Roswell coming up next.
59-36, Eagles by 23. The inbound on the near sideline to Orgain. He'll bring it across against a double team. Pena gets a piece of the ball, dives on the floor, and gets the 10th turnover. Up ahead to Turbiatis, backdoor to Vega, gets slammed on his back, trying to go up with a righty layup. He'll get a chance for some free throws here. Luckily didn't hit harder on that hardwood as he was slapped on his back on that one. And that's going to be a foul against the Cavemen, obviously, against Sullivan, his second. And that'll be the first team foul against the Cavemen here in the fourth quarter. Vega on the line. He is 1 of 3, has 17 points, 2 shy of Pena's 19. First free throw is bounced around the rim and comes off the front of the iron, no good.
Did everything but drop into the center. It looked like it could just have rolled in, but instead it just bounced a little too hard off the back and the front of the rim, and instead it's going to have to be a second chance.
Eagles 11 of 20 from the charity stripe. Second shot's a swish for Vega. He got 1 of 2 and now has 18. 60-36. 24-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Eagles. High pass across the timeline for the Cavemen to Gee on the left wing. To the free throw line off the dribble, backs it out. Stop and go, crossover move in the paint. Spins, tries to throw up reverse layup right side off the front of the iron, no good. Henderson rips it down for his 7th rebound. Outlet to the time strike to Pena. No look pass down the court to Beatty. Wide open for the righty layup again, it scores. Great job of moving the ball hard there for Pena. 9 for Beatty. He's got 6 of the 9 in the fourth quarter. Coming down the lane at the other end, going to the rack hard was Orgain. He's fouled going up. Hobbs still up by 26. The foul on the Eagles. And that will be the second against the Eagles as they charge the foul to the big man, Hobbs. Parker Henderson, his third. And that'll put Orgain on the line. Right now is 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. The leading scorer was 17. Nobody else even close to double digits for Carlsbad. Kind of lost his balance as he shot that one. Comes short of the rim, no good.
In fact, it looked like from his body language that he knew right off the bat as soon as it left his hand that he had totally missed that shot.
Hobbs Eagles 62, Carlsbad 36. The Eagles came in averaging 58 in district, are already 4 above that, and giving up 59, but Carlsbad 23 below that right now, so Hobbs doing good on both sides, offense and defense in terms of point productions. First, second free throw was good for Orgain. He's got 18 points, leading the Cavemen.
Exactly. They definitely want to make sure that they forget about that first game against Carlsbad and the second game against them with that fourth quarter.
A couple of passes across the timeline to Pena. Crossover move down the lane. Fadeaway jumper against 2 defenders. An air ball, unfortunately. The big man came up on him that time, Gassett, and he was a little bit nervous about the outstretched arm and kind of shortened it, and it went low beneath the rim. They're going to say it was touched? Are they giving? Yeah, they're giving it to the Eagles. They did say Gossett got a piece of it. And it'll be Hobbs basketball on the left baseline. Inbounding is Beatty. Fakes it right and is looking for help. Gets it to his teammate Payne on the left blocks. Dribbles out of pressure on the left wing. Back to Beatty. Wide open left corner for 3. Off the side of the rim, no good. Vega puts it up on the right side and cannot get it to drop for him. That was his 3rd rebound. Pulled down for Carlsbad by Orgain, his 8th rebound. Throws it across the timeline to Galindo. Gets stripped by Vega. That'll be the 11th turnover. Down to Payne, who goes up high over the rim and looked like he wanted to dunk it, but just lays it over the top for 2. So Payne to get another bucket. He's got 21 to lead the Eagles. Eagles by 27, their biggest lead of the contest. Into the front court comes Orgain. Down the left side of the lane, high arching shot is ripped from behind. Henderson came up to help out with Beatty on the left block and might have gotten the foul there, possibly Beatty. Official right in the middle of the thick of things there. They get the foul on Beatty. That will be his 2nd personal, 3rd team foul against the Eagles.
The Eagles doubled up so far on the Carlsbad Cavemen, 14-7 in this quarter with 5:12 left.
Orgain 3 of 5 from the line for 60%, makes the free throw. He's made 2 here in the 4th and has 19 points to lead the blue and white. Wheeler going to check in, as well as Soria. Exiting will be Henderson and Pena, getting a nice round of applause from the Hobbs Eagle fans with that 26-point lead. One more shot for Orgain. Trying to get it to 20 for him and misses off the back of the rim. Pulled down at the free throw line for Beatty. That's his 2nd rebound. Dribbles in the front court. Free throw line up top to Turbiatis. Back to Beatty on the right wing. Returns back deep to Soria near the time stripe. To Vega on the right side. On the sideline. Guarded closely by Galindo. Drives baseline. Back to Wheeler on the right wing. Back to Soria, but a short pass ripped away by Orgain. He goes up with a tomahawk jam over the right side of the rim. Boy, he got off the floor big that time. Big job for Orgain now with 21 points. That was the Eagles' 6th turnover. Hobbs in the front court. Beatty right wing. Gives to Wheeler the right elbow. To Vega right corner. Fakes a 3. Drives to 18. Fires the shot. Fade away. No good off the front of the rim. Long rebound for Galindo, his 4th. Gives it off to Orgain in the front court on the right wing. Picked up by Soria. Clock to 4:20 remaining. Spin move to the right base. Fade shot. Over the rim. No good. Tipped out by Wheeler as he tried to pull it down underneath the hoop. It will be Carlsbad basketball, right side of the rim.
Yeah, Wheeler could not find the handle on that one. It would have been a great rebound, but unfortunately went out of bounds, and it will be Carlsbad ball once again.
The officials are going to shift it to the left baseline instead. Looked like it went out on the right, but they're going to give it to him underneath regardless. It's going to be Clay returning. Josiah Clay in for Beatty. Beatty gets a nice round of applause with 6 points in this 4th quarter. 9 overall with 2 rebounds. Inbounding on the left base by Galindo. Gets it in deep to Chavarri on the left side. Crossover move through his legs now. Top of the arc, guarded by Soria. Comes around the left circle, drives the baseline. High shot off the glass and counted, and a chance for a 3-point play. Manning, hopefully got you back on YouTube now as the Eagles getting ready to go on to the semifinals of the district tournament. Pass over to the right corner to Pena. Back to Wheeler in the right corner for 3, and he nails a tray. Amron Wheeler, the freshman. He's got 6 points, and Hobbs up by 23. 1 minute remaining of the game here in Tasker Arena. Eagles leading Carlsbad. Gee with the basketball. Crossover move. Spin at the top of the arc. Flicks it out to the right wing to Galindo. Over to left corner. Spotting up a 3 on the way for Mullins. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound on the left block by Gossett. Gossett takes a spin move in the paint. Goes up against two defenders, throws up a shot leading to the hoop and scores. Gossett with 4 points. And a timeout for Coach Zumbert and the Cavemen. We'll take a quick break. Your Eagles up by 21. 75-54 over Carlsbad. We're back in 30 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Your Hobbs Eagles lead Carlsbad 75-54, up by 21 here late in the fourth quarter. Get ready to punch your ticket to the semifinals of the district tournament. Roswell will be the host on Thursday. Championship game in Clovis on Saturday. Hobbs could get up to 14-15 on their record with 3 wins in the tournament. And of course, winning the district tournament gets you an automatic bid into this Week 16 up at State with a first round game next week. 40.8 seconds remaining here in the fourth after a Carlsbad timeout. Eagle basketball got to beat the pressure. Kano will be on the baseline. And Coach Zumbert pulls off the press. The inbound coming in for the Eagles. Down to the left corner to Dominic Pena. Gives it back to Kano on the left side. Takes a few dribbles, top of the circle. Hands it off to Caceres. Caceres going to spot up a 3 from the left side and swishes it. Caceres with 3, his first bucket of the ball game. Your Eagles by 34. 16 seconds remaining. Hobbs trying to get their 12th win of the season. It's going to be in the books here in 10 seconds. Gee at the top of the arc. Shot puts it off to the right wing to Galindo. Back up top, 3 on the way, and swishing it through is Mullins. 78-57. Long pass down the court over the head of Pena. Dominic Pena sails out of bounds on the left wing, and that will run out the clock here at Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles winning big, 78-57 over Carlsbad. As the Eagles improve their record to 12-15, Carlsbad goes under 500 to 13-14. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with a Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Task Arena. Big win for the Hobbs Eagles tonight over Carlsbad, 78-57 here in the first round of the district tournament. Hobbs will play on the road on Thursday at Roswell. That will be a 6 o'clock start, 5:45 pregame show. Again, the winner of that game Thursday will play in the district tournament championship on Saturday in Clovis. So good opportunity for the Hobbs Eagles to show some lot of bench players getting off to get a chance of doing some scoring in this one, Ron. They were up early in this contest, 19-6, 13-point lead, got whittled down to a 9 at halftime. Hobbs went on a big run there in the third quarter, 20-9, and really got them in a good position. And this is not a game that they let up the reins there in the fourth quarter. They continue to put on the good numbers there with a lot of steals and some turnover transition plays that really worked to their advantage. And again, lots of guys stepping up in this game to do some scoring. In fact, of course, it's kind of top-heavy with their top scorers as usual, as Pena and Vega combined for 39 of the Eagles' 78 points. In fact, that's exactly half of their offense, 39 out of 78.
Exactly, and unlike last time we saw just the other day when it was a 20-11 third quarter over Carlsbad, this one was a little bit better, and they kept the momentum going in the fourth quarter. We also like the fact that other players had stepped up. It wasn't just the usuals. It was a few others. Even the senior Kano had a chance or two, an opportunity to get on the scoreboard. He took advantage of that as well and was able to get on it. So, yeah, it was some of those shots that the Hobbs Eagles were making. Could not make them in the second for some reason, but in the third and fourth quarters, they were dropping like flies, and it was just beautiful to see.
Do I have this right? 28-27 in that fourth is the scoring, or what did you get on the fourth quarter points?
Yeah, 28-27, you're right.
Hobbs getting a 1-point differential there, and kind of not a lot of defense being played overall in that fourth quarter, but enough for the Eagles to get this big double-digit win. Let's look at the numbers individually. First of all, for Roswell, that's the next opponent. This is Carlsbad. Kyron Orgain, he was their top dog with 23 points. He also had 10 rebounds for a double-double in this contest and was 4 of 7 from the charity stripe in this game. Actually, I think he's more of 5 of 7. Let me double-check those free throws here in just a minute. But he's 1 of 3 in double digits for Carlsbad. Jacob Chavarria, he had 11 points, 2 of 2 from the line. Samuel Gee finished with 11 points. He was 5 of 7 from the charity stripe and had 1 rebound. So those 3 guys are prominent scoring there with 3 in double digits. After that, a big drop-off as Garen Gossett finished with 4 points and 3 rebounds. Bryce Mullins hit a tray for 3. Josiah Galindo got a bucket for 2 points and 5 boards. Jonathan Ontiveros scored a bucket for 2 points and a rebound. And that's about it in terms of point production for Carlsbad. They had a total of 8 guys scoring. They went 12 of 18 for 66% in the contest. 27 rebounds for the Carlsbad Cavemen, and were led with the 10 for Orgain and 5 for Galindo. Only 3 3-pointers in the game, Ron.
Exactly, and maybe one of the reasons why Carlsbad was having a little trouble getting some points in was simply because they weren't able to get those 3-pointers. But either way, Carlsbad did do well, a lot better than I thought he did in the fourth quarter. Kept trying to get back into the game, but Hobbs just kept persisting and getting those nice, easy scores.
They did have double-digit turnovers. Carlsbad with 11 total, only 8 for the Eagles, and that's just 1 more than Hobbs had Friday night in their win, had 7 in that game. So that's how you clean up the offense. Keep control of the basketball, don't have unforced errors. They don't call that in basketball terms, but still kind of like what we see in other sports. But Hobbs taking advantage of some good ball play. Let's look at their numbers now. Big-time scoring once again for Abraham Pena. He had 21, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Here's another game where he did not get a 3-point shot to go through, but didn't take a lot of them either. So he'll take the points any way he can get them. Also hit the floor pretty hard, and everybody's kind of holding their breath there as he laid on flat on his back. And it looked like his butt was what was injured. We'll have to find out if that was the case. He probably has a bruise there by the time we talked to him on Thursday.
Right.
So 5 rebounds for Pena as well, the leading scorer with 21 once again. Braylon Vega came out quickly in the first quarter with 3 trays. He had 9 points then, finished up with 18, 2 of 5 from the charity stripe, and 3 rebounds. Definitely great to have that sophomore with that streak shooting that he does get.
Exactly, and we wanted to see a whole lot more participation from other players. We did get that, and I'm so happy, especially since it looked like Henderson was a main reason why Hobbs did so well, especially since he started off the first and the third quarter with a nice little layup.
Well, we'll get to Henderson here in just a minute. In fact, we'll do it right now as he did get double digits in this game, 12 points and 7 rebounds, 2 for 2 from the charity line as well. And we saw some good jumpers. I mean, good follow-through, a couple of point-blank shots on the baseline, middle of the paint, following through, getting off the floor a little bit. And he's already 6'11", so doesn't have to jump too much. But not taking, in terms of the shots that he was taking, he wasn't just staying flat-footed, which we did see in some games prior to that.
Exactly. Before, he was a little uncertain about himself. It seems like, as we talked about before, that he was getting more certain as the games were progressing. Sometimes he'd slip a little bit, wasn't able to get some of those passes that he needed or wanted anyway. And today looked like he was a little cleaner, a little sharper, and a little faster.
So 3 in double digits for the Eagles, 21 for Pena, 18 for Vega, and 12 for Henderson. Braddock Beatty coming off the bench, getting close to double digits as well with 9 points. He had a tray in the first half and a couple of buckets later on in the second half for his 9. Also 2 rebounds for Beatty. 5 points for Lyric Soria. He had a 3-pointer in the game, was also 2 for 4 from the charity stripe, and had 5 rebounds. And definitely a very good guy on the glass, little point guard there, crashing them like the big guys. Jairus Turbiatis, 5 points and 6 rebounds for the Eagles, also 1 of 2 on the line. Amron Wheeler coming off the bench for 6 points. He had a tray in the fourth quarter and was 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. And I believe that's about it for the Hobbs Eagles scoring in this one. Actually, no, I got to forget. Don't forget the senior, Jaime Cano, in the fourth quarter. He went with 3 points, 1 of 2 from the line, and also had a bucket. So crowd favorite there, already pretty motivated to see him get on the court and get some scoring done.
In fact, he might get another chance since we're going to Roswell on Thursday and have a chance to get a little bit more scoring done in his senior year.
Josiah Clay did not score the game, but he did get a rebound for the Eagles. So Hobbs finishing up with 8 scores in the contest. They were 14 of 23 from the line for 60%. 3 less turnovers than Carlsbad, 11-8 in that category, and out-rebounded the Cavemen 32-27. Always love to see that. And Hobbs did out-rebound everybody in the district this year. That was one of their strongest numbers in terms of categories of stats.
Well, that's good because both offensive and defensive rebounds is something you want to definitely work on and get those second chance points, especially on the offense. You just want to see if you can get something going offensively, and that is the simplest way. Just get some offensive rebounds and be able to put it back in. Even if it takes a couple of times, you get those chances to be able to score.
So the Eagles getting the win here by 20-plus, 78-57, leading by 23 at certain parts of that second half of action. Ron, is this going to be enough for the Eagles to get into state just with that first win in the district tournament, putting you on the spot here?
Again, it's one of those situations where they need to help their own cause. Simply put, it's going to be this way. They're going to need some exterior or out help to be able to get in. I think if they win this next game against Roswell, that will, of course, help them a lot more than it did this game right now. And if they go to Clovis and be able to win that one as well against a top 10 team, they've won a few games against top 10 teams. I think that will prove that they are playoff caliber team, and they can be able to, their record won't show it, but their strength of schedule and everything else will show that, including the games that they had against district champs. I think that will give them enough boost to be able to do it. So next game, I think they need to win. I don't think you want to put it in other people's hands about whether you want to get in or not.
I should also mention I was trying to update the free throws there for Carlsbad. I messed up and forgot to put our gains total numbers there, but they were 14 of 20 from the line tonight for 70%. So that did help their cause, but not enough to beat the Eagles, who were up 23-plus for a lot of that second half.
Well, Orgain was pretty much a scoring machine for the Carlsbad Cavemen. If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have even gotten to 50, it seems like. And, it just – he put them on the map basically and did everything he could, but unfortunately it was Orgain versus the Hobbs Eagles, and the Hobbs Eagles had the numbers.
Well, Ron, in terms of Roswell, I know Coach Reeves, I talked to him earlier today, and he was kind of wanting them rather in the Saturday championship to get a little bit of time to get ready for them. Felt like he matches up pretty well against Clovis, but that's going to have to wait till Saturday. But Roswell, very scrappy club, won by 11 last night with that victory, or lost by 11 to Clovis, but a pretty close game up to that point. Stephen McCaskill, 13. He had 11 of those in the first half, very quiet in the second half. And also Saraceno with 10. They did have 2 technical fouls in the second half that kind of got them out of sync.
It did, too. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, it seemed like it was back and forth for a while. Then those techs came along and threw off the Roswell Coyotes, and from then on, it seemed like they just could not get their balance. Every time they tried to get in scoring position, they just could not seem to get it done. So, yeah, maybe that was the reason why, but either way, Clovis seemed to be able to pull away, and Roswell just was not able to get back like they were earlier in the games.
We should say, too, that this league, as we talked about, the district has been kind of lackadaisical in terms of points. 3 of the teams in the top numbers are averaging about 60 or high 50s. Of course, Clovis at 61.5, Roswell at 60, and your Hobbs Eagles at 58. So Roswell's averaging 2 more points a game than what Hobbs is at this point at the end of the regular season, not going into the playoffs like we are now. But Roswell's only giving up 55 points a game to district foes. Hobbs giving up 59. But tonight we saw a different Hobbs Eagle team. We saw a team that was pressing, getting us some turnovers, leading to transition scoring. That's a big difference. Not turning the ball over. Remember a few weeks back, Hobbs had 29 turnovers at Roswell, and that's where they're heading back this time at Coyote Land.
Yeah, and I think this time around, definitely not going to be a 29 number as far as turnovers, like we mentioned. And definitely going to be something that, foul trouble was the other problem that they had as well over in Roswell. So it was all these things that accumulated to that loss. And I think Roswell, we looked at them and we said they did not impress us as far as it looked like it was. Yes, it was a Roswell victory, but it didn't look like if Hobbs had come out with a better situation that they could have actually beat Roswell. And I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to be looking at a situation where Hobbs is playing as a team, both offensively, defensively, and it's going to be a different outcome, I think, for the Hobbs Eagles. Although they have struggled on the road against the district, it is 0-3 right now. They got to get themselves right the ship and be able to get it on the road and win one for the Gipper or whatever.
Of course, Roswell won the first game by 12. Eagles return the favor here at Tasker by 5. But again, road trip coming up Thursday. Your Hobbs Eagles in the semifinals will take on the Roswell Coyotes Thursday, 5:45 pregame, tip-off at 6. So definitely be with us on that one. We will have both video coverage on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and, of course, on the radio here at Cool 95.7. By the way, the Hobbs Lady Eagles do not have a game until Saturday night. They are in the district championship. That will be at Tasker Arena, so that coverage will come up later in the week as well. I'd like to thank Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Also, we're going to go through the sponsors before we take off here, Ron.
And before I do, I want to just congratulate Coach Reeves for his 98th victory of his career. 2 more and he can get 100. He's still got that chance. But we want to thank our sponsors. First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, TDS, The Coffee House, Thriftway, NMR Pipeline, Devon Energy, The Model, Ampersand Media and Design, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy Services. Without you guys, we would not be able to get it on the air.
Final score once again, 78-57. Your Hobbs Eagles going to the semifinals Thursday. Thanks to Tiffany back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, and Jessica Friend on the scoreboard tonight. Have a great rest of a Tuesday night, and we'll see you Thursday in Roswell.